Yo, what's going on guys? CallxMeVapor here and welcome back to the video. So in today's video, we're going to be going over how to win in haikyuu Legends if you don't have a teammate to queue with, so you're going to be solo queuing. In this video, I'm going to be going into a solo match in competitive and carrying my teammate just to show you how to do it. And yeah, let's just get right into the video. Also, if you're interested in a league, then join my Discord in the description below so you can win money. So in this game, we're going to be queuing 2v2s because this is the easiest way to win in competitive by only having one teammate. Now, you might be thinking maybe 3v3s is better because you have more teammates to play with, but if you're going to be solo queuing, you want the least amount of people on your team as possible so that you only have to carry a certain amount and you're only going to be playing against two defenders. So as you can see, I did get a pro on my team, which is very good. This is what you want. He also has 5 ping, but we are playing against what looks like a duo queue. Yeah. It's important that you actually use your teammate. You don't just want to be playing by yourself the entire time, because if you try and do that and maybe insult your teammate, then they're going to lose hope and they're not going to like you very much, and then it's just not good all around for the whole team. But as you can see, he does know how to set block, which is good. He also is a pretty good spiker. So when I know that I have a teammate that's a good spiker, I'm going to want to set to them more often than not. Because it will make them happy and will also be good for me because I know that he's good at spiking. But as you can see, we're working pretty well together. I did just hold W there on accident, but yeah. So another important thing that you're going to want to know if you're solo queuing is it is really important to be able to have a good serve, because when you're serving in a solo queue match, if you can ace on the other team, you do get 3 free points pretty much every time you're serving. So yeah, that's really crucial to have. As you can see, this guy just tried to do something insane, but yeah, he did not score a point. And yeah, when you're playing your matches, you do want to kind of tailor to your teammate if you can tell that they're good, because this is important, especially when you're trying to win your matches, because if you can see that they're set blocking at the net, then you're going to want to be able to libero for them because you know that they're going to be set blocking. So essentially you don't want 2 people set blocking in duos, because if you're both set blocking at the same time, then one person is not going to be able to fall down quick enough and the set's going to be really low. So yeah, it's important to tailor to your teammate if you have a good one. In my example right here, this guy is a pretty good teammate, so I'm going to be wanting to libero. As I can see, he wants to be up by the net. But if it were the other way around, I would definitely be... Oh, I just did that on accident. But I would definitely be at the net and he would be receiving. The most important thing to do when you're playing competitive is not panic. That was an accident. But the most important thing to do when you're playing competitive is not panic, especially if you're losing. The only thing that's going to happen if you're losing and you panic is you're going to drop more points. So for example, this was not a good play for my teammate because he went for the spike when they had a double block on him, and there's basically no way he's going to score. Something much better is to do that. Just obviously you can see that they're double blocking the initial spiker, so I'm going to want to set to my teammate pretty much every time until they don't do that. Things like that are important to pick up on. So as you can see, they're blocking me, so I'm just going to set to my teammate right there. So as you can see, that's a very, very solid example of what I'm talking about. You can kind of pick up on what the opponents are doing as they're doing it, and yeah, you can use it to your advantage. So for example, that guy just messed up. My teammate should set to me here because they're double blocking, and he does, and we just score a free point. So this is one of the most important things I see people mess up on, is that they kind of play their same playstyle over and over again against each opponent, and you're not going to be able to take much away from it because you can't adjust to the opponents that you're playing. What you need to do in this game is adjust to the opponents you're playing and their playstyle. So if they were to continue, let's say they block my teammate spike, they don't block me, I'm going to want to 8 more because I'm going to be able to get free points because they're not blocking me, they're not expecting it. In my opinion, if you're going into a solo queue match by yourself, I highly recommend that you use a spiker style that you can you're going to be able to spike yourself, especially in duos matches. So things like Uchishima, Sanu, Time Skippy Noto, those are ones that you're going to want to be using, especially when you're playing in duos, because if you're not able to spike yourself, then you're only limited down to 1 spiker on your team, and they're going to be knowing that that person is going to spike every time. So yeah. Also, as you can just see right there, that's called a fake. I meant to do that. But yeah, as you can see, the other team is definitely getting overpowered by us right now. We don't have as much of a lead as I think we should, but I believe that's on me actually, as I'm trying to explain what I'm doing as I'm playing. And yeah, I just missed that free point that they just scored. So as you're playing, it's really important to limit the amount of mistakes that you make. Essentially, when you're playing in a solo queue, you're kind of gambling on your attempt to get a good teammate. So in that example, I just leaned and it cost our team a point. That's not something that you're going to want to be doing, especially when you're solo queuing, because when... Oh, I just let up another free point. So this is not what you want to be doing. But to go in deeper, you're solo queuing and you're gambling by getting a random teammate. So if you want to win as many games as possible, you're going to want to be having the best games that you can. You are eventually going to run into bad teammates, but to limit that, to limit the amount of losses that you're going to get, you're going to want to be just playing the best to your capabilities. And yeah, eventually, if you are playing good in your matches, you're going to be ranking up because the other teams are not going to be able to keep up with you if you're playing well. And once you get good teammates, you're going to gain elo. That was a bad set from me. So if you were playing scrims, this would be a different kind of question, but if you're in competitive, it's very important to just stay very simple. The people you're going to be playing against in competitive, the majority of the time, are not going to be very good. This definitely is different than scrims, but if you're in a competitive match, chances are you're playing against a bot. This has went down a little bit because of the NA matchmaking, but you are definitely going to be playing against worse players than you would in a scrim. So, like I said, it's important to just keep it simple. You're going to want to be setting to your teammate, and you're going to want to be just finding gaps in between the opponent's defense. And this will help you guys out a lot, especially when you're playing against worse players, because they're not going to be able to keep up with you if you're at your simple, just simple, basic skills. So, yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and win this game. I'm going to just end this game out because this is getting a little close. So as you can see, we did just win this game. That was a little closer, but it did make it harder because I was trying to explain as I was playing. Yeah, but this is going to be all for this video. If you guys enjoyed this kind of video where I'm kind of playing raw gameplay and just explaining as I'm playing, then yeah, make sure to leave a like and subscribe and leave a comment, because I do kind of like this style more than my normal videos, because it makes me, opens up a little bit and allows me to get more in depth in what I'm doing. And yeah, if you guys want to join the league, make sure to check that description. We do have a big prize pool for the league this next season, so make sure to join. And yeah, also I do stream when we are playing the league matches, so if you guys wanted to tune into those, I think you could learn a lot from how me and my duo play when we play in a competitive environment, especially for those of you new players that don't really get to play in those situations. That's all I have for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.